Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Supporting Black Authors Book Club. I am your host, Minister Deborah Davis, coming to you live on Facebook and YouTube as I do every Tuesday night with an awesome author. And we have an awesome young lady in the building today. We're going to be interviewing author Sophia Greene, author Sophia Lorraine Greene. Let me just tell you a little bit about her. Author Sophia Greene is a dual citizen of Jamaica and America. She migrated to the States at age 18. Her journey has allowed her to trust God more than ever. She's an advocate for at-risk youth and a certified Christian counselor. Also, Sophia Greene currently works for the New York City Transit Authority and is certified as a foster mother who works with children in the system who are waiting to be reconciled with their parents. Ladies and gentlemen, do me a favor before I bring our guests on. Share this video, like this video, start your watch parties. We want to give this author as much exposure as we can. So Facebook and YouTube, I introduce to some and present to others author Lorraine. I'm sorry, Sophia Lorraine. That's her middle name, Sophia Lorraine Greene. Hi.
Hi.
I was thinking
Hello.
about welcome to Supporting Black Authors Book Club.
Thank
How
you.
are
Thank you
you?
for having me.
You're welcome. Well, you're welcome. Look, we have some people here we want to give a shout out to. Okay, we have our Dr. Tenaria.
Well, I
And
can't see anyone, so you're just going to have to give a shout
you
out for
know
me.
what?
Hi, Sarah.
This is what we'll do. I read your bio. So before we
Yes.
give our shout out, is there
Mhm.
anything that I left out that you want to add or mention in your bio? Also, is there anyone that you would like to give a shout out to and thank?
Well, all my Facebook fans, I want to give a shout out to all of them, all the awesome women on the move, my co-authors, my co-workers at MTA, all my friends that I grew up with in Jamaica, my mom, my children, just the whole world, just everyone that's surviving right now. I just want to give everybody as much love. Like love goes out to everyone.
That's awesome. That's awesome. We have our diehard fans watching Dr. Tenaria. We thank God for you. Pamela Brown, we thank God for you. Shalonda, Gretchen, we thank God for Eugene. We thank God for all those that have tuned in tonight. So do me a favor, y'all. Come on, share the video, give her some hearts, give some love. We want to make her feel welcome. Not only do we want to make her feel welcome, but we want to give her as much exposure as we possibly can because she's an author and we are supporting Black Authors Book Club. Her book tonight that we're going to be discussing, come on now, y'all ladies by the well. Ooh, listen, I didn't get a chance to read the whole book. I just got my book and I was so excited to get this book, Ladies by the Well. So we're going to talk about Ladies by the Well. Let's talk about the title.
Yes. So originally, that book was not supposed to be titled "Ladies by the Well." I had a lot of titles I was, just toying mentally with that I was going to use, and I did chose a title for the book, but unfortunately, God had other plans. So I just woke up 3 o'clock one morning and I heard, as clear as daylight, "Ladies by the Well." "Ladies by the Well." That is what you will name your book. So I changed the name from the other side of the coin and named the book Ladies by the Well, and it just stuck, and I just ran with that, and it's been that for over 15 years.
That's awesome. That grabbed me
Yes.
because, people say you can't judge a book by its cover. Well,
Right.
I beg to differ because that title grabbed my attention. And I was like,
Okay.
well, between Dr. Tenaria and your title, I said, we're going to have to get her on the show.
Yeah. Yes.
And why it grabbed my attention because we know about the ladies by the well. We know about the lady by the well in the Bible in John
Right.
chapter 4, the Samaritan woman,
Right.
and by her being Samaritan, you would think that when Jesus asked her for that drink of water, you would think that she was raised to be prejudiced. Just
Right.
because she said, why are you talking to me? I'm Samaritan. You're a Jew. Why are you talking to me? And then we know the story when
Right.
Jesus told her about herself and
Mm-hmm.
how she had all those husbands. Come
Mm-hmm.
on. And how
Yes.
she was shacking up. Come on. She was
Mm-hmm.
basically, what was she doing? Looking for love
Yes. In
all
all
the
in all
wrong.
the wrong places. Yes.
Come on, you can talk about that
Yes.
because that's why one of the reasons you titled your book. And we as women, we do. We look for love
Right.
in
Yes.
all
Yes,
the
we do.
wrong places. You know, looking for love in a man, from one
Right.
man to the next man. Come on, talk about it, author.
Yeah. Ladies by the well, we as human beings and females should be able to identify how many days we wake up thinking that each day is going to be the same day. I assume that this woman got up thinking that that particular day was going to be just like every other day. She got up and she probably thought, why can't I get a husband? Why can't I get someone to love me? Why am I not like all the other women in the neighborhood that has a husband, that has children, that has a family? So she's going to the well that particular day with the same issues she has always had, maybe praying secretly that when is God gonna remember me? And then she look at herself and be like, He's not gonna remember me. I'm not a Jew. I'm not
Right?
acceptable.
Exactly.
I'm not
Mhm.
married. I'm not a virgin. I don't have a degree. So she went about her business thinking it was going to be an ordinary day just like yesterday, not knowing that her encounter at the well that day is going to take her to her next. So
Exactly. And no matter how hot it was that day, because you think Jesus was at the well, it could have been like a scorching hot day, and
yes,
she still did not even feel worthy. She didn't
yes,
feel worthy to
right,
give this man that she thought was a man, he was a man at that time, a drink of
yes,
water,
yes,
you know? And
you
then
know,
he said to her, if you knew who it was that was asking for this water, you
right,
would be asking for living water, because he wasn't trying to give her a natural water. He wanted to give her the water that she would never thirst again. So she wouldn't have to look for love in all the wrong places. And we know what it is to look for love in all the wrong places. What, look how many husbands she went through.
and all the wrong things, not just people, but things. So she went to this well and met this man, thinking this was like the other men. So she didn't realize this man was different until he could tell her things that only she knew about herself. And she trusted that this would be a different encounter. So when he asked her for water and she gave him water, that
Come
was an
on.
encounter that was going to change everything forever.
Yes, 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 yes. She was, and she didn't even realize before she got to that well, and
Mhm.
how she had husband after husband after husband after that, she was trying to fill a void in her
Mhm.
life. We as
Right.
women, we do. We try to fill a void in our lives, and
Mhm.
I'm speaking for myself,
Right.
too, because we're looking for that love, that void to fill,
Yes.
and we don't
Yes.
even realize that we're
Mhm.
not going to find it because
Mhm.
we don't possess it
Mhm.
ourselves.
Right.
You
And
know?
even if we think that we find it, there is no one human being on this earth that can provide all the void that we need to fill. The only person and the only thing that can give us all the areas that we need to feel whole is Jesus Christ. No
That's it.
human being can do that for us. None.
No,
So
God
even if
has.
you're, I'm sorry, even if you're in a successful marriage, even if you have a great job, even if you have financial stability,
Come
it still
on.
is not going to give you everything you need. And if Christ is missing, then everything is missing.
Exactly. God has to complete the void.
Yes.
He has to complete the void. And that's why he said,
Right.
if you knew the
Yes.
gift of God and who it is that asked
Yes.
you for this drink, you would have asked him and he would have given you living water. But
Yes.
and I love that. I love that you title your book. Welcome, Sharon. Welcome, Sharon. Jean, welcome. Elisa, Gretchen, welcome y'all to Supporting Black Authors Book Club. You just joining us. I'm interviewing author, yes, author Sophia Lorraine Greene, and we are discussing her book, Ladies by the Well. Come on. Now, if y'all know about the Samaritan woman, y'all know what she went through, and you know what we go through as women. So
Right.
I just thank God for you coming on today to share this topic, Ladies by the Well. And I wrote a few things down that we can talk about. But getting back to the woman by the well, I put,
Right.
Jesus was comparing the well water with everything that this woman had been thirsting for in her life. And
Right.
that's something. She was
Yes.
thirsty. And we as women, we can get a little thirsty when it comes when it comes about a man, right?
Yeah, but thirsty, being thirsty and not being able to identify what is the thirst.
Come
If
on.
we can't identify what are we thirsty for, then we drink from every cup.
Drink from every cup, not realizing that Jesus is the one that has to complete us. And she didn't even need all those men. She didn't
Yes.
need to run from man to man,
Right.
And not look, we're not just going to say all women.
Yes.
You have women that have been married for 20, 30, 40, 50 years. And, these women, they're not running from man to man. Okay, but there's still some boys missing in their
And
life, and
they're still thirsty because their husband is not able to fill that thirst that only God can fill.
only God can fill it. So
Yes.
we're going to
So
talk
thirsty
about.
is thirsty. Whether you're married or you're single, thirsty is thirsty.
Yeah, we can get a little thirsty, but
Yes.
um, Dr. Tenaria, she asked why. What about the title? That's what we're talking. We're sharing how the title "Ladies by the Well" applies to author Sophia's story. She was
Right.
like the woman by the well. Talk about that a little bit. You go ahead, tell them about why you titled it and then how it applies to you as a woman.
I think growing up, not being able, you see, we repeat the cycle that we were raised in. What we are surrounded by, the environment where we were raised, not knowing or being educated spiritually of what is it that we need as women to be whole. So we're growing and we're learning and we're evolving and we're doing trials and errors. And unfortunately, we do more errors until we get it right. And
Exactly.
yes, so if we don't have that esteem and that foundation in Christ from day one, we're searching for everything outside of us
And
when
I like.
everything that we need is within us.
I like that you said
Because when, yes,
we're
because
searching for things with.
when God made us, He said He made us in His image, which meant all answers are within Him first. So if we go outside of Christ and outside of us, everything else that we're looking for is going to fail us.
Exactly. I like that. I like that you said that we're looking until we think we're going to get it right. Even in this story with the Samaritan woman, we
Yes,
know that Jesus took the short route
yes,
and he needed to go through Samaria. And
right,
and that sometimes we need to go through
yes,
some things. And we try to take some shortcuts in life,
right.
you
Mm-hmm.
know, and we're not even really trying to listen to the voice of the Lord. We're just trying to do things on our own, and we're trying
Right.
to make this happen over here and make this happen over here. And I
Mm-hmm.
can relate to the woman, but we want to talk about author Sophia.
Yes,
We want to talk about your story. And I read in your synopsis that the insight of Ladies by the Well is an insight into your life of a Black Jamaican girl who
Right.
struggled with herself and the legacy of your parents. Let's talk about that legacy of your
Right.
parents. Let's touch on that a little bit.
Well, one thing I must say that I have had very supportive parents. I've had a very supportive group of people that raised me. I was not raised in a mother and father home. My father lived separate, my mom lived separate, and my grandmother lived separate. And I was always welcome in all three homes, but the difference was all three of them had three different teachings.
I saw.
My father was a disciplinarian, my
Yeah.
mother was free spirited, and my grandmother was like, baby girl, do whatever makes you happy. So now I'm torn between all these three teachings, and I'm like, okay, who do I follow? Who's going to be my mentor? Who's going to be my guide? And I'm just trying to figure it out. As a young girl, I want to do everything. I want to, experience everything. I want to do dancing in school. I want to do drama. I want to have my friends, but which guide do I follow? The foundation was not there for Jesus Christ. That foundation was never there. It was more like, baby girl, whatever makes you happy, just do it.
I like that comment. Shalonda says sometimes we want to take the elevator rather than the stairs. But listen, Shalonda, I'll take the stairs in a minute.
Yes. Yeah, because guess what? We think
I'm afraid of the elevator. So I don't mind taking those stairs, girlfriend. I'll take those stairs in a hot minute. So you say also in your book, you say you were an immigrant, a welfare recipient, an inmate in the prison system.
No. Okay. Wasn't in the prison system, but I can relate to a lot of friends that I have that has tried different things and is incarcerated at this time. Yes.
Oh, I must have read that wrong. Let me see.
Yeah.
An inmate in the prison system running from relationship to relationship, or you just feel tormented.
So if you've ever been in those situations, because something about prison, what the incarcerated system does, it allows you to keep quiet for a minute. It allows you to reflect. It allows you to slow down. So
you're talking about the prison system?
Yeah, I'm saying for females, even gentlemen that have encountered, environment where they are incarcerated. At that point is when you get to slow down and really think and reevaluate, where's my life going? What have I done wrong? What could I have done different? What is missing? So all these situations allow us to really exhale and say, you know what, I need to make a change.
You know what? I can relate.
Yes.
To the prison inmate.
Right.
Okay, because that's where my well was.
Right.
And I did not realize that Jesus was there waiting.
Right.
For me. You understand? Right. And you certainly will sit back and reflect.
Right.
On your life. You have time to do that.
Right.
Okay? Right. You have time to do that. Let me tell you something. I love your transparency.
Thank you.
Because we have to be transparent in order for us to help someone that has been or is going through what it is that we as women have went through in our life. So, I know I don't hold back on anything. I don't hold back on nothing that God brought me through. And that's why I really gravitated to your story, the ladies by the well, because I know that lady by that well. I know her.
Right.
So we're going to be transparent. We're going to talk to these people tonight. If y'all have some comments or questions for our guest tonight, please give us. Okay, yeah, here we go. Yes, Shalonda. Mm-hmm. That's right. We can relate. Yeah. I'm not the type to just sit up here. I'm not no dignitary. I'm not gonna have my nose the dressed all out on the outside and act like I have not been through nothing. Right. No. No, why? Because you want God to get the glory out of what you went
Yes.
through. You want
Yes.
somebody to say, what? She don't look like nothing she been through.
And you know what, Deborah? You know what Deborah, Minister Deborah, what I do love about the awesomeness of God is that that day when he was on his journey, he had the woman at the well on his mind. Even though she had no idea that her life was going to change forever, he went to that well with her on his mind. That baby girl, I hear your secret prayers. I see your secret tears. I know you like an outcast, but today is the day that I'm going to change your story forever. So that's what I love about
That's right.
Jesus.
I know that's right. Because when I got there, Jesus said, do you hear me now? He said, can you hear me now?
Yes.
My arms are still stretched out. And
Yes.
he said, I was here waiting for you. I
Yes.
knew you were coming. I saw
Yes.
you coming, and I was here waiting for you the whole time.
And he's such a gentleman. He is such a gentleman that he does not impose. He invites. Look how modest he is. He asks, can I have a drink of water? Can I have something to drink?
Yes.
He's asking of me and you and her, are you willing to give me something? And in that exchange, I'm going to give you something that's going to change your life forever. Isn't that something?
So I want you to do me a favor and tell the viewers, what was it like to be a teenager coming here in America in a strange place, in a strange country? Did you know anyone, and what were your first steps?
Challenging, scary,
Mm,
uncertain,
mm,
feel like a fish out of a pond. I've
mm,
never been away from my family all my life. I came in winter. I was not prepared for the weather. I was not prepared for the custom. And
mhm.
I did not know what it felt to feel alone until I came to this country. That's when I knew what loneliness was. America is a place that if you don't have a support system around you, you can be in your apartment and be dead and nobody knows.
Mm, mm, mm.
The first time I came to this country and I went outside and I passed my neighbors and I said, good morning, they looked at me like I was crazy because nobody spoke to anyone. Now, in my country, every time you pass someone, good morning, good evening, how are you? But here it was like foreign. So I had to learn their way of doing things, but I don't allow it to change me. I still try to bring some of my principles and still live the way I was raised. But as time goes by, you have to realize that they do things different here. And it was very scary, very lonely.
So before you came to America, we're going to get to you, Pastor Jones. Before
Yes.
you came to America,
Yes.
you had an image, a dream of
Yes.
what the American dream looked like to you. So when you got to America, was that dream anything like you visioned?
I had no desire to be in America.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still at this today, 32 years. I'm still having withdrawals from homesick. I never wanted to be here. My mother actually forced me to come because of the teenage pregnancy. She was
Wow.
disappointed. She was very disappointed. I was going to a Catholic high school.
And how old were you?
I got pregnant at 16
16.
in a Catholic high school.
Wow.
So that was a big disappointment for her.
Thank you for joining us, Dr. Vaughn. Yeah, that's a scary thing to be a pregnant teenager.
Yes.
I can relate. Yes. You know what? I often say this, and I know people have heard me say it so many times, but I say it because I can relate. If I'm 15 molested, I was 16 and pregnant, 17 and prostituting, 18 and strung out on drugs, 19 been homeless in a 20-year-old prison in me. There go I. Yeah. So listen, so I can
Yes.
relate to all of
Yes.
that. And that's
Yes.
why I know why God didn't let me die in all
Yes.
of that. Why?
Yes.
Because he chose me for such a time as this. So he know, hey, Deborah's gonna come boldly
Yes.
and tell the truth and tell the
Yes.
testimony, because there's so many people going through so much stuff. That's the woman at the well, and
Yes.
you have too many people sitting down, sitting back like they ain't been through nothing, sitting back like they all got it all together and ain't
Yes.
been through nothing, and people are sin sick and dying out here in this world.
You're
So
correct.
grateful that God chose me, because that's what he told me. He said, I chose you. He
Yes.
chose
Yes.
you. He
Yes,
chose
he did.
you for,
Yes.
for, for this. He chose you for
Yes.
this. He chose you for such a time as this.
Yes.
He chose you because he wanted you to come out, come boldly to the throne of grace.
Yes. Yes.
To
I
obtain.
totally agree, Deborah. I totally agree, Minister Deborah. It's liberating for me to tell my story and be transparent because I'm free. I have no regrets to share the things. The only regret I have is to identify people in my story that chose not to tell their story. But this is about me. This is about my transparency. This is about my freedom. Because when I free up myself and my story, the enemy has nothing to use because I put it
Oh,
out there. What are you
what?
going to
Come
use?
on.
There's nothing
Your
to
mother.
use.
What? Girl, you sure we not sisters? I say that all the time. I'd be like, okay, now if you can just think of something to tell on me, because I've
Yes.
already told. And you know what? That makes the enemy mad, because
Oh, does it?
I
Oh,
ain't
does
got
it?
nothing, I ain't got nothing on her. You know,
Oh, no, you don't.
I had.
I told it. I publish it. I speak about it. What
Come
are
on,
you going to tell me that I haven't told the world? You have nothing on me, enemy. Nothing. My
nothing.
past does not define me. Does
Come on.
not. I'm
Yes, yes,
smiling through the rain. I'm smiling through the storm. Still
yes.
smiling.
Come
Still
on.
standing. And all the glory goes to God.
All the glory. That's all he wants. It's the glory. Know why? Know why? Because all right, we're gonna go to Pastor Jones' question was, how is your relationship with your mother? So let me just say something before you answer that. You know why God brings us through all that, so we can't say mama brought me out.
Yes.
I can't say my mother brought me out. I can't say my daddy sure didn't bring me out. He put me in it.
Speak. Speak.
I can't
Speak,
say, I
minister.
can't say
Speak.
Jesus brought me out.
Yes.
Nobody but God.
Nobody but God.
Nobody
Yes.
but God can bring you
Yes.
out.
Yes.
What did was one of the, would you say was one of the worst things opposed to the best things that you left in Jamaica?
Security. Security. I was well prepared for. I was an only child in the home. So I never had to share. I don't know what it is to be hungry. I don't know what it is to be homeless. I've
What?
been homeless in America twice. I've been homeless in America twice.
Well, you had to go through it.
Pregnant,
Mm-hmm.
pregnant with an 11-year-old child on the street of New York City in Central Park, 1996
Mm-hmm.
in winter.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I've never been homeless in Jamaica.
Mm-hmm. Well,
So
I
for
was
me to
in.
go, for me to go through homeless twice in
Mm-hmm.
America
Mm-hmm.
and still be able to come back because of the grace of God and bought a home and still standing and working for the city and use my home as a refuge for children that have lost their home. Use my home as a refuge after being homeless twice. Let me know, isn't that the grace of God?
You know it is, but God. You know what? I
Yes,
love, that's what I love about God,
yes,
because he has mercy on us, because
yes,
he knew that he had a plan for us. He knew that was
yes,
our purpose,
yes,
and he, look how he brought us out, he brought
yes,
us out,
yes,
without, well, I don't smell like smoke. You smell like
yes,
smoke, you
yes.
know.
Mm-hmm.
He brought us out and sent. I ain't no, I ain't catch on fire. You know.
Yes. Minister Deborah, when I went to have my daughter in Interfaith Hospital, I had to get a pass from Salvation Army telling me when to come back with my baby or I'm going to lose my spot in a shelter. You understand what I'm saying? So nobody can tell me that God is not a good God. You can't tell me nothing because when I was out there in the streets, didn't have anywhere to live, didn't know what's going to happen to my daughter and my son and what's going to happen in winter. Nothing but the grace of God to keep on going. I am here with you.
Can I tell
This
it,
is,
y'all? Cause see, listen, God, I didn't know you. You and I, just my first time seeing you.
yes,
I just
yes, it
got
is.
to talk. But we have so much in common.
Yes.
God don't make mistakes. He knows how to connect people
Mm-hmm.
together,
Mm-hmm.
like-minded people.
Yes.
And God brought you through all that. And I always say this too, that, and I tell this story, and I tell it because it's deep. When I was in the hands of a serial killer,
Yeah.
and that man told me to my face, he said, after he raped me,
Yes.
he said, I'm supposed to kill you tonight,
Mm-hmm.
throw your body out in the orange grove for the snakes to eat your body.
Mm-hmm.
He said, but it's something about you.
Mm-hmm.
He said, I can't do it. He said,
Yeah.
now I know I'm supposed to kill you
Mm-hmm.
tonight.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
He said, but it's something. He said, I'm going to take you home with me so nobody else will kill
Yeah.
you out here. That was God then having mercy and
Yes.
grace. And
Yes.
God was saying, not this one, like he was
Yes.
saying, the things that you went
Mm-hmm.
through, God was
Mm-hmm.
saying, not her.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to touch a hair on her head. Not
Mm-hmm.
one hair. No, Satan, you can't have this one,
Yes.
because I got work for her to do. I have a
Mm-hmm.
plan for her
Yes.
life. And
Yes.
that's why God did not let
Mm-hmm.
the devil kill us.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yes, you are so correct. Deborah, when I was homeless with my daughter, I met someone that I knew from my past.
That's
And
right.
this young lady, I met someone and she said to me, where are you? I haven't seen you in a while. And I told her that I'm living in a shelter now. And she looked at me and she laughed. She said, Sophia,
Wow.
look at you. You're smiling. You look clean. You're humorous. Stop playing. How could you be? I said, yes, I have been living in a shelter for 8 months. And
That's,
this girl did not believe me until I wrote my book.
that's something else. You know what? Know why it just occurred to me? We just have so much in common. I
Yeah.
went to turn myself into the drug program, right? They wouldn't accept me. Told me I
Yes.
was too clean.
Yes.
Told me you ain't been high in a couple days.
Mm,
You're not. They was like, who is this woman coming up in? You're not a candidate,
yes.
And I was like, what? I need help, but I
Yes.
need help,
Yes.
So, but
Yes.
God,
Yes.
Jean said, I can testify to that. See, come on, that's what I'm talking about.
Yes.
That's what I'm
Hi,
talking
Jean.
about.
Hi, Jean. I can't see you guys. Well, hi.
You can see the comments, right? That when
I
I
see
pop
the
them up,
comment, but it just flashes and then it disappears. Yes.
that's me. That's me. I'm doing it.
Okay.
So, ladies and gents,
I'm having this conversation here, and there's people that I grew up with that read my book that said, Sophia, I never knew in a million years that you went through all of this. I said, and half of the story has not been told because that would be another book.
And when did you realize you had that book inside of you? You had a whole, I say this a lot to the authors, but you had a whole book inside. Y'all looking this pretty? This is beautiful.
Yes.
And when did you realize you had all of this in you?
Minister Deborah, I've been writing since I was 8 years old. I wrote my first song when I was 11 years old.
And poems.
And poems.
That's
And
how I survived in the county. That's how I survived in jail.
yes,
No,
and journals.
writing poems
Yes.
and making cards. Why?
Yes.
Because everybody had turned their back on me. So
Mhm.
God gave me a gift. He
Right.
made me creative. He showed me that I can make money to survive in there. I had
Right.
to learn how to survive in
Right.
the jail. You understand? So that's why now all of the videos, the flyers y'all see on supporting Black authors, I do that. You
Yes.
know, and God gives us those gifts.
Mhm.
He gives us
Yes.
those gifts. You
You're right.
understand? We
Yes.
we all we all have something inside of us that God
Right.
wants to bring out. So we
Yes.
talked about you never were homeless when you were in Jamaica.
No, I wasn't.
Never homeless. So you what was one of the worst things that you can say that you left behind in Jamaica?
The worst thing for me that I would say that are you saying the worst encounter?
I'm just saying, just in general verses, because you said it was good that you were never homeless in
Yes.
Jamaica. You had it good in Jamaica. If you think one thing that you can think of that you're pretty happy about leaving in Jamaica.
I would say America is a school. It's an education that I don't regret getting here. I've learned so much in this country. I've learned strength. I've learned survival.
Mm-hmm,
I've
mm-hmm.
learned forgiveness, and I've made such great family, which are friends, such supportive women that are closer to me than blood relative. That
What?
even yes,
That's, I'm just
just the
agreeing with
love that
you.
they've given me,
What
you
what did,
know.
what did your family think about your book?
I intentionally published this book after my father passed. I did not want to do it injustice, so I published it after my grandmother passed that raised me and my father because I wanted to honor them. I did not want to say the things that I said while they were alive. Unfortunately, my mom is still alive.
Did you
She
say,
is she is one of my best friends.
oh,
She's the most consistent person that I've ever known, otherwise than God. She's my rock. She's my go-to.
my
She's
mama
my
too,
soft
baby.
spot. She's my
My mama
rationality
too.
voice.
My mama too, baby.
And that's home. When I see mom, that's home. That's where I can cry and like, mom, this is what I'm going through. And she said, baby, sit down. I'm gonna cook you something. Baby, sit down. Read Psalm 35. I'm gonna cook you some meal.
And looking back over your life, what would you say was one of your biggest regrets?
Leaving my family. Leaving my family and throwing my education away and making the choice to have a child at 17 years old. That detoured my life forever because all my dreams were shattered then. Because now I'm a mother. Now it's not about what I want, but now it's about this child that's growing inside of me. I need to prepare for this child. I need to be a strength for this child. I need to do what I have to do, 2 and 3 jobs for this child. I need not to be trying to get married right now so somebody could tell me how to raise my child and how to grow my child, but I need to do what Sophia needs to do to make sure that this child has a better life than what I gave to myself, because I had a good life until I decided to have a child.
But in your book, you had post-traumatic stress
Oh
disorder,
yeah,
and
yeah,
you were mad that you had a baby, and you even said you would do from the crying, you wanted to sometimes just throw the baby away. And as young teenagers, we go through that.
yes, yes.
It's really difficult, to be
I did not want any child at 17 years old. I
yeah,
wasn't ready. I was a kid. I had no business having a child, but abortion was not an option.
it was not an option.
No,
And
no.
then, me too. I was a teenager. I was 17. And then, our kids, they're not born with instructions.
Yes.
And we don't have, a lot of us sometimes don't have the guidance that we need. So
Yes.
what was one of I'm really enjoying speaking with you.
Thank you.
I'm just loving your presence.
Thank you.
Um,
Thank
I'm loving your beauty. I'm loving you, sister. You have a
thank
new
you.
sister girl right here, and so, and all of you ladies, you know what we're gonna do when this pandemic over, right?
Mhm.
We're gonna have a tea.
Tea party! I have my water right here. Cheers! All the women that have survived by the well. Cheers!
I am a survivor, just have a couple more questions. If y'all have some questions, oh, y'all gonna give some laughs, but I ain't see no hearts. That's gotta be going up fast. Can we get some hearts? Yes, they saying glory, cheers. Let's put some of this stuff up here. Glory. Oh wow.
Cheers, Charmaine. Cheers, Charmaine. I see you.
We got some survivors. Yes, girls, we're gonna have a party.
Yes.
Can somebody put party over here?
Survivor Jean. I see you, Jean. I see you. I see you, Canary. I see you guys. I see you, Teresa.
How about somehow I made it?
Yeah.
Somehow
Yes.
I made it. So I'm just gonna ask you a couple more questions before I let you go.
That's all right. You take your time. I'm hanging out with you tonight. I usually am in my bed by 8 p.m. So you have me up. So you better work this line, because I should be in my bed.
Because me too, y'all know. Them girls know. I'll be in the bed at 8 o'clock. Oh, thank you, Jean. We're feeling the love, y'all.
Yes.
Feeling the love. There it is. That's what I'm talking about, Pastor Robin. We have to come to North Carolina, Pastor Robin. You gonna host?
Hi, Pastor Robin.
All right. So I just got a couple more questions before I let you go. Before we take our offering for you, one of your biggest challenges. We know that you were a teenage mother.
Right.
We know that you were homeless, and you didn't give up. You didn't quit. You didn't lay down and die. So many times we want to give up. So many times we want to quit.
Yes.
And we be right at that finish line, and something pulls us back. What was one of your biggest challenges in getting to where author Sophia is today?
Learning to forgive.
Ooh,
Forgive myself.
Yes. Go ahead. I'm gonna let you talk because you didn't touch on.
Learning to forgive who I thought hurt me, and learning to forgive Sophia Lorraine Greene for putting herself in some situation that she had no business to be in. Oh my God. Forgiving me and looking at that little girl in the mirror and said, baby girl, forgive yourself. Get up, brush off, take your kids, move on, and forgive who you thought hurt you, because guess what? They were learning who they are just like you were learning. They didn't mean to hurt you. They didn't
You,
want to hurt you. They were learning to love themselves just like you were learning to love yourself, baby girl.
you,
Release them with love
you.
and release yourself with love because God has forgiven all of you.
I love that so much. You don't know. You're one of the first guests that I have had that can talk about forgiveness. You
Yes,
know, because when I was in, my brother was murdered. He was
yes.
32 years old, and I was
Mm,
in Virginia jail. That's
wow.
and I couldn't talk about him. I couldn't. I just I would cry. I was mad at the world, and God.
Mhm.
I heard God speak to me in there, and He said, "You have to forgive his killer."
Wow.
And I was like, "What?
Yeah.
Did I hate him?"
Yeah.
No, you have to forgive his killer. Not only do you have to forgive him, but you have to forgive your daddy for all
Yes.
the things that he's done to you. You know,
Mhm.
that forgiveness is key. Here it is.
Yes.
Christian
Mm.
forgiveness had worked.
It's a key that unlocks places you never thought.
You got to forgive. I'm so
Yes.
glad you brought that because if we don't forgive, our Father in heaven is not going to forgive us of
Oh,
our
yeah.
trespasses. And plus, forgiveness frees you from the
Yes.
grip of that person that had a
Right.
hold. They don't have a hold on you no more. Once
Mhm.
you forgive them, they don't have that hold, that stronghold.
And it
Mhm.
unstuck you. It
Yeah,
unstuck you. So now you can travel light because you're no
yeah.
longer holding on to anger. You're no longer holding on to pain. You're no longer holding on what should have been, but now you're walking free in
Ooh,
Christ. Like God, use me. I'm light. I've surrendered it all. Forgiveness.
forgiveness is key. It's
Yes.
key. And it shows.
Yes.
It shows. You
Yes.
know, you can just love yourself. When
Yes.
you've been told, when you were told for years and years and years that you're ugly, no one's never going to love you, you'll
Mhm.
never be married, you'll never have children. You
Mhm.
look at you, you're so ugly. And then you start believing that stuff. And
Yeah.
then that is when you become that woman, this woman right here. That's
Yes.
when you become that lady at the well and you
Yes.
start looking for validation. You start looking for love in all the wrong
Yeah.
places.
Yeah.
But let me say this when you, mhm, when you fall in love with yourself, come
Oh
on.
my God, that love, baby. Whew.
I'm just selfish
There's
about
no
that.
room for you to hurt me because I'm too busy loving myself.
You can call me, that's some selfish stuff right there.
Yeah. And when you love yourself, you can love all the hurting people.
Yes, yes, yes. Because what? One thing about that, one thing about that, you cannot give something that you don't have.
Yes.
And if you
You're
don't have that love in you, you cannot give it to your children. You think you love them, but if you don't have it in you, you cannot give it to nobody else. You can't give something that you don't have.
right. You're so correct. Hmm. And the enemy will creep up. The enemy will creep in and he'll remind you, oh, you haven't changed, and oh, you're just like your grandmother, and you're doing stuff like your mother, and oh, because of this hurt, he will remind you. And that's when you go in your little pocketbook and you pull out your promises and you say to the enemy, listen, there's nothing you can say to hold me hostage because the Lord says I am made in his image and everything about me is beautiful
I
through
love
Jesus Christ, my Savior. Get behind me, Satan!
I like that so much. You know why? Because as a little girl, all I heard every time I walked in a room, look at her. She looked just like him. She just like her
Mhm.
dad. My daddy was, I don't want to talk about him, but
Yeah.
look at her. She just like him. That's so I'm like, what do you mean? I'm just,
Yes,
so since I'm just like him, I guess I'll just go on and be like him then.
right.
All right. So my daddy was a gangster.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
then what happened? I turned into a little gangster.
Yep.
You know why? Because I heard you just like your daddy, you look just like your daddy, she just like her daddy. I was like, okay, I'm gonna be like my daddy then. So
Yes.
that's why I don't like to hear that when adults yell at their children,
Yeah.
fouls, negative, you
Yeah.
bad. Look
Yeah.
at you. Get over there. You trifling. You're telling them that there are these things. They're going to believe that. You
Yes.
know. So I'm going to ask you another question before we take up our little offerings and stuff. I just want you to reflect
Yes.
for one moment
Yes.
on the little girl that was in Jamaica, the little girl that didn't have any children, the
Yes.
little girl that was happy, carefree,
Mm-hmm.
out playing.
Yes.
And I want you now, the woman that you are today, the God fearing woman that you are today, I want you to tell that little girl something today. What would you say to her?
Oh, baby girl, you're gonna go through so much. But just hold on, just keep smiling. Because guess what? God have you. The same God that brought your grandmother through, the same God that brought your mother through, is the same God that's going to bring you through. And you're going to get pregnant. Your dreams are going to pause. But there's a lesson to be learned. Because everything that was meant to hurt you, I am your Father God. I'm going to change it around. And it's going to bless you. Because that child that you had at 17 years old, he's going to be a pastor. That's going to come through your womb at
Mm,
17. And I'm going to show you that I am God.
yes,
Okay?
yes, yes.
Yes.
So listen, y'all, get the book. Ladies by the Well.
Yes.
Get your book. Get your book. We want to support our author tonight. Um, and let me have your Cash App while I'm on this screen right here.
Go Green 97. That's $GOGREENE 97. Go Green 97.
I already got it. Go Greene 97. Y'all see it.
Yes.
Okay. And
And they can Zell me at 347-749-2300. And I'm on Facebook. I'm on Instagram. They can always get in touch with me. Go
so
Green 97.
we're gonna yeah, I know, Shalonda, she's gonna send it. You send it through she send it through PayPal and then I send it to so y'all listen. I know that y'all enjoyed this guest tonight because I'm sitting here sweating.
Why, Deborah? Minister Deborah, why are you sweating? It's winter. It's
I'm
snowing
hot.
outside.
I'm hot.
Don't mess up that beautiful pink blouse now.
and, and I'm still sitting here. you know, normally I would have been doing one of these.
Oh, God.
Mary, I know you got your copy, but we're gonna do what we do. We're gonna cash out this beautiful black sister,
Yes.
our sister girl, and we
Yes.
want
Thank
we want
you.
a blessing. We want to be a blessing. I don't
Thank
get it. I
you.
don't understand how nobody don't want to be a blessing. Where's that? I know I typed it in here. What I do with it, y'all? The cash app. Did y'all see where I put it? Let me do it again. $sign. I want to put. Oh, I know where it is. I got it. Yeah, come on now. There it is. I like that. Uh-oh, we lost her. We lost her. So we got $sign Go Green 97, but we lost her, and well, that's okay because we were at the end of the interview. I hope I'm not too choppy now that she has gone, but I want y'all to go to your Cash App. I think her phone died. because she was using her phone. So that's what happened. I'm going to say her phone died. So y'all go $go Greene 97 and get the book, Ladies by the Well. Ladies by the Well. So we're going to cash app her. And listen, y'all, don't hesitate. Oh, she's back. Don't hesitate. What happened? Your phone died?
Listen, I'm a dinosaur for technology, so I shouldn't touch nothing. I don't know what happened, but guess what? I'm back.
The giver will overshadow the taker any day. Come on, Shalonda. Shalonda, you better finish that book, girl.
Amen to that.
She said she's getting another one for her daughter. Okay.
Thank you, Jean. Appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you. We appreciate you. Come on, y'all. I know y'all got money in the Cash App, and we want to definitely sow into this beautiful woman's life. And,
thank you. Appreciate it.
There's the Cash App. Y'all know to get the book, Ladies by the Well. Ladies by the Well. I had such a good time with you tonight.
Thank you. Me too.
I enjoyed this interview. Y'all know I'm not gonna announce an author for next week because I've been waiting for graphics and stuff, so I don't want to say that name. I don't want to throw a name out there, but you guys just follow. Yeah, I know you do, Shalonda. You guys just follow. She said you look very beautiful and free. You guys just follow.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.
Follow the book club, and you'll know who's coming up. Post your books if you know authors. Post your books in the club. God is doing an awesome thing with the book club, and we want to be a blessing. We want to be a blessing. So I want to thank you so much. I want to thank you, author Sophia Lorraine Greene. I messed your name up in the beginning. I was thinking about Lorraine. I had a cousin named Lorraine, and that's your middle name. So
yes, Lorraine. Yeah, my father actually named me after the actress Sophia Loren. He actually named she was his favorite actress. So he named me, so he named me after her, but God knows my name. God knows my real name.
They're asking the price of the book.
It's $25 for the book.
25.
Yes.
So whatever it is, we're gonna get it.
Yes.
Y'all. We're gonna get the book. I got my book, but I'm still gonna sow into her life. So I want to thank you so much, dear. I'm gonna call you. We're gonna talk. We're gonna stay in touch. We are new sisters. And
thank you. I always have room for more sisters. I always have room for more sisters.
Especially the real deal sisterhood.
Yeah. The heart connection. The heart connection. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Shalonda. We going to, baby. We out. Thank you so much, author Sophia, and we'll be in touch.
Thank you so much, and thank everyone for taking the time to watch us tonight. May God bless you all. Thank you.
Be blessed. So there you have it. We have another episode of Supporting Black Authors Book Club, y'all. Y'all, I really appreciate y'all so much. There's her Cash App. I'm going to write it down real quick. Go Greene 97. So we're going to Cash App her tonight. Tonight, we're going to do that. And I'm not going to make an announcement on who our guests will be on next week. I don't want to make that announcement yet because I haven't gotten the graphics that I need. So I might just pick somebody else to come on the show. So I just want y'all to do me a favor, share this video, like this video, and please be blessed.